It says we're live. Okay, I'm gonna start talking. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our broadcast here. We're trying to get this set up. Yeah. Oh, okay. I don't know. It's not showing up in your invites on the right side anywhere. Alright, hang on. Just posted your invite again. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna hang up and then. Oh. Cool. Bye. Okay, I don't know if anybody's watching yet. Welcome. Sorry about the technical difficulties. We're going to try this up again. Mr. Quinnell is joining us as well.
Hey.
Hello. How are you, Steve?
I'm good. How are you, Pete?
Fantastic. Beautiful day.
Long time no see.
Yeah, no kidding. So welcome to the Iao Intermediate Hawaii GAFE Summit Highlights Show. I'll be your co-host, and Steve's the other host of the show. We're going to be explaining to you a little bit about what we learned at this past summit, the GAFE Summit. It was a great opportunity to do some networking and learn a lot of cool stuff. So, Mr. Quinnell, do you mind if I go first?
No, that's fine. Go ahead.
All right, fantastic. Well, just to let everybody know a little bit of background, the summit was hosted at Iolani School by the EdTech team, and we had the opportunity to send over a crew from Iao School here. Myself and Steve and Larry and George Helfenstein, one of our science teachers, went as well, and we attended several of the different sessions, and we're doing this hangout now, not just to recap what happened, but also to fulfill a requirement in our learning result portfolio and share with you folks some of the best practices we took away from this session. So one of the things that one of the sessions that I attended was about having students create their own electronic portfolios, and it was something that I really thought was something that we needed to bring back to our school. Our school had instituted the student-led conferences several years ago, and right now it's a case where the students, compile their own little portfolio binders, paper and pencil, and we have to take time out of the school day to compile these portfolios and keep them in the teacher's classroom. And as soon as the school year is done, all the papers that are in there get torn out and recycled most of the time. Best case scenario. Worst case scenario, they might just leave the binders in the teacher's classroom and you keep them for a little while, but then eventually you got to get rid of them. So our move was to take it to the next step, to make these electronic portfolios. So that's something that I took away from it and something that I instituted with my classes. And Mr. Quinnell, I know you had a similar experience with that?
Yeah, so as an advisory teacher, that's one of the things we have to do for our advisory, for our student-led conferences, and instead of doing the paper version this time, I had my students create their portfolios online as a website, and I'll go through some of that later when it's I'll show some of the sites and kind of what I did later when it's my turn.
All right, fantastic. So it seems like we're on the same page here at our school. We're trying to institute these electronic portfolios. We're approaching
Yeah.
ways to possibly do that. Maybe starting as early as this semester, we tried out different things in our classes, and hopefully we can expand it next semester to include more folks at our school as well. So I'm going to attempt a screen share here, if that's okay.
Yep.
And
I'll let you know if it works.
okay, I wanted to show you.
I'm not able to get my lower third turned on.
I noticed that it's a little like there's a black bar across the bottom of yours, but I think we'll be okay. Okay, can you see anything? It didn't freeze up, did it?
There we go. Yeah, I got it.
Okay, cool. So what you'll see here is my Drive folder for my Block 5 electronic student portfolios. And I wish I had used Octopus for this. I wish I had Google Classroom for this or some kind of learning management system. But as it was, I just distributed a template to them, which was a Google presentation. And then the students actually went in and they modified the template to add in their different examples of their work that they created. So just going through here, let me just choose one here. Here's the student's work, and this is shared with everybody in his class. So that's the folder sharing settings. Is that he wanted to show off, work that he's been completing in technology class in 2014. So the first page was, a little introduction, and then this is a link to their first Google presentation, which was they're introducing themselves, like their favorite hobbies, etc. We had a page where they were doing some little graphic design using Pixlr. Another page as a Google Doc. And then we had their SketchUp designs. We made something on Google Map Engine. We did a short PSA movie, and they were actually able to include the video here. And then they did a presentation about a college that they might want to go to, and a computer programming lesson where they made a Scratch video game maze. And this is the last item that they're currently working on. They may not finish it. It's kind of like a little extra thing. They're making a music video. And the last slide was I told them that the rest is up to them. They can add any additional slides, artifacts. You can change the theme, add animation, keep adding to this portfolio each semester. And so that was, my first attempt at doing this electronic portfolio. The students in my class showed them off to their parents during their student-led conferences, with varying degrees of success with that, depending on how much work they put into it and how much their parents actually participated in the conferences. But we did get some good feedback from them as well. But I know Mr. Quinnell had a different experience with the portfolios. Would you mind sharing that with us, your experience?
Sure. You want me to show you my website and all that stuff? Just go ahead and do it.
That'd be awesome.
Okay. All right. Let me click on the screen share part. And let's see. It's kind of lagging since we're
the same thing, yeah.
Our stuff is connection is pretty bad, so which one is it that I want to share? Oh. Let me see. Let me find it here. It must be this one. Okay.
Looks like it's going. Yeah.
Going? Okay, can
it.
you see? Okay. I was looking for something in my drive that I wanted to show you, but I'll just skip. So this is the website that I made for this project, and I'll just click on the home page here. This is just the website I made for the PD credits for this class. And over here are just the sessions, the lesson plan, and then the artifacts and results, which is what we want to talk about. So Pete, the difference between mine and yours is that yours was just for your class. The portfolios I created, they had to get their stuff for all their classes. So that was so that's a little bit of a difference there in terms of what how much stuff they were trying to get in there, and kind of the availability of electronic stuff. So that's a big difference. So anyway, these are the sites. I have 21 students in my advisory, and these are the websites that they created. I'll just show you a couple of them really quick. Unfortunately, for some reason, some of the portfolios, the pictures, I guess if they're not shared, I guess if the pictures are not shared, they don't show up in the websites. So didn't know about. I'm not sure what happened with that. So anyway, because some of the pictures don't show up in the websites. Anyway, here is one student's website, and we went through the whole discussion of website design, color, choosing, how to change the different parts of the Google site, how to even change the favicon up on the top. So I showed them all those kinds of things, and then we talked about organization and that stuff, and you can see that there's still some issues, but what we ended up doing was we had to, the students ended up taking pictures of their documents that they were given by their content area teachers to include in their electronic portfolios, and then they use this as the basis for their student-led conference. So this is just one student's example, and then there were some other things that they had to have in there. This doesn't look like this student got them all in. Let me just check on another one. So here's another student's example. Is it switching back and forth okay for you, Pete?
Yeah, looks great.
Seeing the different stuff. Okay, so this is, she has a few more pictures. She was able to use her smartphone, which was a big, she loved that. She was able to actually use her phone for something at school. And let's see, she doesn't have the other documents. So there were a couple other documents that I had them embed right in the front page. And let me just try another one. Let's see. Okay, here we go. So here's so they had to do a GLO report card where they graded themselves.
Nice.
And gosh, I don't know why it's not, I don't know why it's not showing. There's an issue somewhere. There's a permission setting that's off somewhere that's not letting it show either pictures or even this document that she created in her Google Drive and then embedded it into her website. So that's a little different version of using Google Sites instead of Google Presentation to do a portfolio. And this is for all their classes and for their student-led conferences, which was what I wanted to get them to do. And then this will live online while they're at Iao school instead of being thrown away at the end of the year.
Already I see the benefit in that, embedding documents like that, instead of having a link through the presentation, you can have the living document right there, or like the video or the pictures. So great job so far. Keep going.
Yeah. Can you embed a document into a presentation? I don't think you can.
I don't believe you can. So right there, yeah, you definitely have the lead on me right there.
Well, I like yours in terms of clean and simple. And that for a class, I think that's a good way to keep a portfolio, unless they had access to their website that they could make a page for each class, and they obviously don't have that in every class. They don't have access to do that, but that would be, that should be our goal, really, don't you think?
Yeah.
Anyway, let me just get back. I did a survey at the end because I wanted to see what they thought about it. And you can see for the most part, they enjoyed, all of them except one said they enjoyed their work in creating the portfolio. How comfortable were you making a website? Mostly in the middle, not real comfortable and not real uncomfortable. How valuable do you think this learning experience was for you? Most of the students were over here on the left, one or two. Would you try to make a website for another class? Oh, it looks like I missed a question in here somewhere. I'm sorry, so I got that wrong, actually. I don't know what this question was about. How comfortable is making a website? Sort of comfortable, but not terribly comfortable. But most of the students thought it was a pretty valuable learning experience. And then would they make a website for another class? 15 out of 18 said yes. So, and we talked about that, and a lot of them said, you know, instead of a big poster board for a science fair project, it would be kind of neat for us to make a website, or at least part of a website for a science fair.
And honestly, I've already seen it taking place, and that students are using the Google Apps tools in other classes, world languages, science class. They're just using it to display their work and to communicate with each other and collaborate on assignments. So we're off to a good start, I think.
Yeah, yeah. And let me know if you can see this. Can you see this movie, or are you just still looking at the?
Still looking at that same screen there.
Okay, let me. I just want to share this movie with you because it's pretty doggone funny. Let me try this. So I videoed. So I had to turn on. What do you call it? Photo booth for them to take the pictures. And boy, turn on photo booth for a classroom full of 6th graders. Let me see if I can play it. I don't know if you'll be able to watch it or not, but I'll just play it. It's like 2 minutes. I'll just play a little bit of it. So, you seeing it?
Yep. We may not have the audio, but we can hear.
Okay.
We can see him. She's hiding. Oh, for them. I gotta admit, I did the same thing when I, first found photo booth.
Yeah.
That's a lot of what it's for.
Yeah. So it's
That's cool.
That was pretty funny. I mean, I wish I had taped the whole thing as soon as I turned it on, because it was even crazier when I first turned it on. So trying to we got to find a way. I think moving forward, in order to make this work a little better, we got to find a better way to digitize their stuff, and whether it's with iPads and photo scanning with that, that would be a good way to do it, especially if you can link it right to their Google Drive through the iPad if you have those apps. The problem is that the apps aren't free to upload stuff. You can take the pictures, but you can't upload for free. So, and there's no easy way to connect. Well, I guess with an iPad you could just connect it to the computer and it would go into iTunes, wouldn't it? If you take the pictures.
Well, I got that ScanJet Pro or whatever it's called, Scanner Pro for the iPad app when it was free. It was like a very short period of time, and that it allows me to scan things using the iPad directly to my drive. But as far as like actually having that application on all the students' iPads or even like a cart of iPads, I don't know. And then they'd have to link it to their drive as opposed to, the owner of the iPad's drive. Like, I don't see how that would be possible. But I do think there is some way probably to sync between them and, a computer that they're using. That bell is to remind us that we only have a couple more minutes left for this hangout. But yeah, I think as more teachers move online and using Google Apps, their work will be housed in their drive, so they could easily embed it into their website. But as far as taking those teachers who are always going to have the paper and pencil style things, or like an art project, for example, how could we capture that and quickly get it into the drive? And we're open to suggestions. Who's watching this out there?
Well, I do kind of have sort of an idea of how we might go about that already, and that is getting the kids involved in being the ones who actually go do that work instead of laying it all on teachers. Just thinking about Kern Kelly's presentation at the summit. So the elementary school teachers didn't have to do anything. He'd send a kid or two kids in who would videotape the students reading or whatever to the kindergarten class, reading to the teacher, so that, and then the students would take that and put it into the kindergarten kids' drive, so that his tech Sherpas were doing that work, so that the teachers didn't have to be responsible to do that work. And I think we could probably find a way to start grooming some kids to do that kind of stuff to help us out.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Hopefully we could expand it next year to beyond just my one class. Of maybe we could get one team to do electronic portfolios next year. If we can talk anybody into it, that's.
And we have rolled out we've signed up for the Google Classroom, and just reading like the rumor mill and everything about that, it does sound like, if a teacher were to institute that with their class, like that would give you like a place where all the work would come together, and those students would. I mean, from what I've been hearing, it sounds like it's going to be like almost a class website would be the interface.
Okay.
And then, from that class website is a launching point. Like, so it sounds like a perfect fit, for your portfolio websites. And if we could get like a whole team on board with that, even like, instituting some time with we'll have to figure out with the schedule and everything, like a time where the teachers that don't have computer access could visit a lab that's open or something.
Yeah.
Express purpose. Like, we're gonna have that study hall period, that 15-minute study hall period. So I know you and I have discussed, maybe making that a little bit of inputting into your student portfolio time, or just getting that time into the day somewhere along the line.
Yeah. Somehow we're gonna have to figure that out. If I have a homeroom next year, though, I don't know how that's all gonna. It's just gonna be me. I mean, we're gonna have to figure out when we do the student-led conference stuff anyway, because we don't have advisory next year, so it's, but moving forward, it's something I think we need to do based on the student interest, and based on, and just that, and my class, the 6th graders that I have, we did a lot more this year than we did last year. Last year we did much more just typing. We did, we learned how to use OpenOffice, which now is gone with Google Docs, and so, in terms of using computers as tools, we did a little bit more of that this year in learning programming and, efficiency and whatever else you want to call it, workflow. We've done a lot more of that in 6th grade this year than we did last year. So I think it's going to be interesting to see where we go next. But I think getting more teachers involved, that's really, I think, where we're kind of stuck at this point.
Yeah, I know Mr. McCarty, if he was here, he would put a plug out there he's going to try to host a Maui GAFE Summit for any interested teachers. So I can get back to everybody who's watching this with that actual date and more information. But Larry McCarty's going to try to put that together. Where we could bring some of these tools out there to other people who are interested, stuff like that. But I know our time is just about up. Just want to put a plug out there for the website that you designed for the robotics team.
Oh yeah.
You're there, so I actually have it called up here. I'm just going to screen share it real quick.
Okay.
I think there's a bit.ly for it, right? Can you
Team 5055 or 5505.
Okay. So this is our Iao TigerBots Google site, and the idea is we're going to use this to tell a little bit about our TigerBots robotics team, our robotics program. So we embedded the Google Calendar in there with all the different events, including those events that we're going to be attending, hopefully, and the practices, and actually the event that we're going to be hosting here. And when is that? I think it's the first week of December. We also put like a little slideshow here, Google presentation slide, and just talk a little bit about the program. And so all this came from the presentation about how to make your Google site not look like a site. Is that correct? Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah, some of it. I used the information I got there from, oh gosh, what was that guy's name?
I know I'm drawing a blank now too.
Shoot. Because there was a D in it. I can find it really quick. Hang on.
But yeah, so we just, as opposed to the previous robotics website, we wanted to make this one a little bit, more interesting, and also to have the students' input into it. In that, they're actually going to be using this blog page to keep track of their engineering notebook. And so they're all going to be added as editors, all members of the robotics team. And that way they can post. One of the requirements of the VEX robotics program is that they compile an engineering notebook. And one of the challenges we ran into was like if the iPad that they kept it on wasn't there that day, or if a student missed out, they didn't know what they missed out of practice. But now we think with the website and having these posts, it'll make it a little bit easier for everybody to contribute to that, which is the goal of the engineering notebook. Mr. Quinnell, you still with us over there? Sorry.
Just trying to make this a thing instead of. Yeah, I think my connection is spotty. Oh, there we go. Look at that.
Yeah. No worries. I think we got like a minute or two left here. Anything else you want to add?
There we go. I'm back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I think with the robotics website, it's about making it more student generated than us constantly having, than it being our stuff. It's actually theirs to really build that ownership, and that goes with the portfolios and stuff too. Is that they can really customize things and make it their own, which again was part of Kern Kelly's discussion. Is especially when they get older into high school, using that portfolio as a resume that they take out and then go get jobs or get colleges to accept them or whatever it is, and building, not only just building the capacity to do it, but also building it, for the students, but also building the capacity to personalize things and really make it their own. And so we're really kind of trying to do that with the robotics too, which is giving them ownership of it as their vehicle for talking about their school and stuff. So,
excellent.
All right.
Better myself, and I want to thank you for your time. Thanks for having this hangout. Sorry nobody else could join us. Maybe that was my fault when I set it up, or maybe it just felt an inconvenient time. I know some people are on their lunch break and what have you. But yeah, we'll have to do this again sometime soon, and good luck to you with your websites and the portfolios next year and what have you, and I'm sure we'll be in touch.
Awesome. Yes, I'll see you in the second. Do you think so? So if we copy the link at the top of the screen, is that going to be the link where it lives online, or?
Good question. When you on my side, maybe because I have the control panel, I have a links tab for the events page, for the YouTube page, and for a video embed. So okay. I will copy all of those just to have them, just in case. But I believe that's all we need to include. And I do think that there's probably going to be a way to get to it later too, since it is on YouTube and it is.
Okay, because we got to put that in our websites.
Right, for the
final. Hopefully, that's our final requirement. So
I think we got it this time. And just also, so you folks who are joining us, we did this whole thing before with Larry as well, but our school did not have the live Hangout on Air events enabled through our Google Apps administrator. So after we got that turned on, this time hopefully it'll work out. Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, have a great day, and we'll be talking to you soon.
Okay. Thanks, Pete.
All right. Adios.
Bye.